And we're back once again, as rightly said. Welcome to Breakfast Central on day 2. That's Tuesday here on News Central Television. It feels good to be back on the air. Most importantly, it feels good to follow through with the breaking stories. Yesterday, we did hear of a roller coaster of different news breaking from Rivers State, southern part of Nigeria. Don't forget the northern part was also heating up. And when you come down to the west, it was all about the NYC student who spoke, the minds of Nigerians, kind of like putting fuel into fire, and everybody started talking. But I'm not alone. I've got the delectable Omoleye in the house. Was good.
Absolutely excited to be here. Rivers State has proven itself to be the onion of Nigeria with different layers and different stories. So every day we are unraveling a new update, the latest update, with the possibility of an impeachment, a conversation we're going to explore in depth this morning. I am Olive MOD.
Welcome to Breakfast Central, your perfect start to a day where we bring you the latest news, insightful discussions, and everything in between. I am Gbenga, quite a lot happening in the country, and I'm wondering, where do we start from? Okay, we're in Lagos, Nigeria's commercial capital, the Center for Aquatic Splendor. Yes, Jandor, the People's Democratic governorship candidate in the last elections, has ported. I think it's porting season. Politicians are cross-carpeting this period. Most of them are going to the SDP, quite a number of them going to the SDP. Some are joining the ruling party. And guess where Jandor went to? Of course, the ruling party.
Can I just say
he
that
went back home.
Jandor going back reminds me of a certain song that says, Ajole Dabile, no matter what you do, make you no forget home. So he has gone back home. So welcome home.
But the big question is, what is he bringing back home? Does he have a teeming number of supporters? What value is he adding to the APC in Lagos? And the race for 2027 should be quite an interesting one.
Very interesting, guys. Well, don't forget that a few months ago here on Breakfast Central, we did discuss what the possibilities are to pick the next candidate to represent the APC here in Lagos. We know how very strong it is, a hold for the APC in Lagos. They wouldn't want to lose it at all. It's the economic capital. We've seen a state that has indeed generated over 270-something billion naira just recently. So letting that go to another political party would be very dangerous. But then again, for me, guys, this indicates something very big, a caveat. It shows that the PDP could be dead because everyone is starting to jump ship and leave the PDP. Even all those who had left the APC and moved to the PDP are now leaving. So it strikes a chord to what
I don't think it's just about the PDP, I think at the end of the day, PDP and APC have always been seen to be two sides of the same coin. I just think that what this reminds us is the fact that politicians will always pursue their personal interests, and if you're thinking that they're thinking about you, then you are wrong. They're thinking about the quickest way to power.
Like I remember during the previous elections, Dr. Obi Ezekwesili, she contested against Atiku and Buhari before she withdrew her candidacy, and she said, the APC and PDP are Siamese twins, and she called the candidacy Butiku, Buhari and Atiku. So there's not really, it's all about interest. I mean, what ideological difference would you say the PDP has that is different from APC? But
and does Jandor have the support that he didn't get from the core leaders in PDP for you to say that a key figure or a key leadership figure in the People's Democratic Party openly campaigned and supported for another party? Will he get that same support, or will there be a repeat of the same scenario?
And he's still a member, and you wonder what happens to internal discipline in this party.
Another thing that bothers me is the fact that you wonder, do politicians hold on to ideals? What is the ideal of a political party and a politician? What does it hold on to?
That's the idea.
Exactly, because if one says, just funny enough, just almost 2 years ago, you did have Jandor come to the fore, and he was basically criticizing, lambasting, breaking down while the APC is a corrupt space to go
It's such a short time.
and so, take note of I mean, it's not even up to 2 years. He was doing all of this. And then all of a sudden, he comes forward to say, you know what, the PDP is not supportive. He has to go to where he knows he would get all the support. And that's more reason why he was at the State House last week to meet with the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in Aso Rock, where they had a closed-door meeting. And like he said yesterday in the video, he had a few conversations with people, and then he has decided to make his decision. But we might want to listen to what he's got to say here on Wake Up Conversation. So wake up with us and take a listen.
Here before you today with a heavy heart but a clear conscience. We have dedicated ourselves to the ideals of democracy, good governance, and to return to the All Progressive Congress APC. Before you are quick to remind me of the reasons upon which we left in the first place, let me respond with a popular Yoruba adage that says, if a woman has not tried two husbands, she probably would not know.
It's giving siren.
Hold on, let's do it again. Olive, it's so good to know that you are moving to the Breakfast Central show.
Wow. It's giving siren.
I was looking for the ambulance or fire truck there. Like, what's going on?
Was that surprising?
I mean, I even said it last week when I was interviewing, I've forgotten his name now, a PDP chieftain that we had on the show, and I said to him, oh, now that Jandor is moving to APC, it was like literally a slip of the tongue, and I said, oh, I take that back, we don't know clearly, but there are speculations that he's moving to the APC. I think, you know, someone who is even visually impaired could see the writings on the wall. Yeah. But again, like I would say, like Jandor, like El Rufai, everybody's pursuing their own personal interest. El Rufai, who sang, you know, you see him singing in clips, he's showing his support and loyalty to the Progressive. Exactly, President. That was the video that was playing in my head. Him dancing Buga with with the APC leaders, and at the end of the day, that same APC, he's left the APC and gone to the SDP. A reminder to you and me, and all of us who are the voting public, that politicians will always choose themselves. Politicians will always choose their personal interest. Politicians don't really care about you. So I hope that you can remember that when you go to the polls. Now, politicians are not interested in you. They're more interested in the quickest way to grab power.
Not all politicians, well, allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Still looking in Lagos State, Mr. Ushe Talk to Rai, her social media handle, has caused a lot of stir because of her outright criticism of President Bola Tinubu. She called him a terrible president, with all due respect. No, she didn't add all due respect, but she complained about the cost of living and complained about how the average Nigerian is struggling to cope. And as a result, she also did allege that the NYSC was hunting her down and that she shared messages of people alerting her that the NYSC was looking for her. And there were speculations about her being subject to a disciplinary committee. She was asked to resume yesterday at 10 a.m. at the local government office. And then we saw that there was an entourage who went with her, Omoleye, Sowore.
High-powered delegation.
Exactly. A high-powered delegation of lawyers went with Rita. We could see Sowore, Festus Ogun, a number of other lawyers went there with her. And reports have it that they met no one on arrival. There was disappearance on arrival.
What? Wait, hold on. They went there with her. What happened to the lady who called her?
Nowhere to be found.
What happened to everybody who...
I guess they got notice. And I believe the lady who called her was just acting. There was no official communication from NYSC headquarters. She was just being overzealous and felt like, how dare you? Who gave you the temerity?
Do you know who you're talking to?
You know, do you know who you're talking to and things like that? And by the time they made her famous, she decided to, you know, stay back at home and, you know, let this things die down.
I think what would have been great to be for the NYSC to have spoken to say that a woman did not speak on behalf of the NYSC. But when you don't, you debunk statements like that, especially because the NYSC is not a private entity. It's not one man's business where you can decide to do whatever it is you want to do. You know, this is the lives of young Nigerians who have been entrusted to your care. This is the same NYSC that's been criticized for not being able to protect a number of their youth corps members, people who will be traveling to different states and end up getting kidnapped. So
I'm being paid $3,000.
Do you understand that?
It's just really wild. Anyway.
And they've been promised. I mean, the minimum wage in the country legally is
17,000. But NYSC has said that they're increasing this to 77,000.
Have they gotten it?
That
No.
I'm not sure of.
Not yet.
NYC members will tell us. Youth Corps members, please tweet at us to let us know what the current state is. Have you been receiving your 77,000 and how consistently have you been receiving it? But just a quick update.
We have Youth Corps members amongst us. I feel
Benny.
anytime
My
I see
darling Benny. We should
I
ask Benny.
Well, it doesn't look like what is going through.
Benny does not need Youth Corps Alawi to survive. Benny doesn't look like someone that needs
No, it doesn't.
from NYC
Some
to
Youth Corps
survive.
members are some, some others,
But just to quickly touch on Rita, she also, beyond criticizing President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, she talked about Lagos smelling, and they have dragged her to filth for that, such that she has come to apologize about it.
May I
Please
comment?
go ahead.
Yes, please.
You may.
To be honest, we must be honest. Lagos is smelling.
When they drag,
Fact.
they will drag you, Joe.
No, let's be honest.
I mean,
I think we need to stop trying to avert what is true. By the way, that's a post. She put up an apology yesterday. She eventually came out and made an apology statement. She put it in writing there. She said, but I could tell there was a difference in the atmosphere and quality of air here. If the way that I was put triggered your emotions and the love for your birth state, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to talk down on your
Why
birth
did you do
state and
this?
so
Because
on.
the so-called
Yes.
indigenes have gone on social media
Exactly.
to now start dragging her, and telling her
That's
she should go
right.
back to Cross Rivers State and go and insult her own state. So,
But back to Lagos, let's be honest. And Lagos smelling, is not as a result of just the government. And I want to make it clear here. It is the Lagosians. I've had courses of shouting, even while driving to work. You find people who park on the streets. I have to honk my horn at them many times. They just bring out the dirt and fling it straight to the road. And I'm
just
like,
to mention that,
you can't do that.
in response to what you've said, by Lagosians, you're not necessarily meaning people that are indigenes of Lagos State. We're talking about everybody who lives in Lagos has a
Everybody. We have a
collective
responsibility
responsibility to keep Lagos clean.
But the major responsibility lies on the government. So to the governor, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you take decisive action, the funny thing, on Saturday let me tell you this, guys. If you dare me, please, as you watch this, go to Adeola Odeku. Walk Adeola Odeku from the beginning, where you have Koscharis, walk down to the end before you get to the Amaduvelo intersection. Take a look at the gutters, Olive. The gutters are filled to the brim. It's not raining yet, and they're filled with plastics, plates, smelling.
In all fairness, Lagos State government is trying,
Smelling.
on the one hand, to ensure that they can mitigate a lot of the craziness out there when it comes to hygiene. Even with plastic pollution, for example, is why certain supermarkets are now billing us over, giving us so much bills
you pay for
to
nylon,
reduce
for
our
bags,
plastic
carrier bags,
pollution.
and so on.
But individuals also have a role to play. If you are one of the people that when you are driving, you eat, you wind down, and you throw things out of the window, shame on you. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Do you remember the Marwa regime? Where there were bus drivers were told to put waste bin inside the buses. They will beg you, please don't throw anything outside.
At the end of the day, like you rightly said, Joe, it's the responsibility of government.
Yes.
And individuals have a role to play.
And then number two, when
leads.
people criticize government, these are taxpayers. You take their taxes, so they have a right to have a say in how the state is run. And I think it's very myopic to say they should go back to where they came from, or they should tell that to their states of origin. It's disingenuous. It's not the conversation we should be having. Face the issue, and then impose hefty fines, prison terms, make it a crime. Like in Singapore, we have megacities. One government official yesterday said as the influx of people coming from, look, Mexico City, Singapore, these St. Petersburg in Russia, Moscow, they're expanding.
I think
Gbenga, sorry to butt in.
Yes.
I'm going to say this here so that it doesn't seem like we are going outside. Let's go back to the time of Governor Babajide. All right, okay, hold on. Let me reverse my statement. Let's go back to, let me see the simple one, to Fashola's time. Do you remember what happened to Lagos? If you're watching? In Lagos, during Fashola's time, first of all, he ensured that every refuse were cleared. I saw firsthand, since I was born in Lagos, women were driving their trucks. There was this arrangement, this partnership that took place where if you own a truck, I saw women in Ojo-Elegba, in Yaba, in Surulere, in Mushin. The ladies had their own businesses. They signed up with Lagos State. They were going, they would pick refuse. You would hardly find refuse on the streets of Lagos. Fashola, that's the former governor, also took time to ensure that he cleared destitutes. He cleared all the street urchins from especially areas where they were much and told them he doesn't want to see them. The same former governor of Lagos State ensured that if you live in Lagos, he gave a rule that you have to paint your houses and plant trees. Did it work? It worked to a certain degree. Lagos was at least serene. You could breathe fresh air. So while we're saying the government has work to do, the truth is, yes, the governor has to do his work.
It's not just entirely the governor. We have a commissioner of environment. We have a commissioner of environment. Tokunbo Wahab also has a responsibility.
But the governor has to sit with him now.
He has been speaking. He has been ensuring.
He's been doing a lot of.
Yes, he has been doing.
Yeah.
You know, I do think that the government has been doing, to an extent, they've been making some move in ensuring that they sanitize Lagos. But I think we also have a role to play. But finally, I think we also have to ensure that there are strong punitive measures for anybody who is tossing things out of the car, people who throw their trash, you know, without with reckless abandon. By the time you see proper discipline, people will know that, okay, if this person was dealt with terribly because they littered Lagos, they will not try this again.
And we also turned every street corner to a market. We need to do something about it.
When we are coming to work in the morning, we see people peeing and pooing.
They wash for more, they water, they flee it on the road. Why wouldn't it smell?
Let's go to Rivers State.
Anyway, let's before we go to Rivers State, I mean, let's also look at what the ranting has led to. It has led to Nigerians coming out on social media space, Olive. On X, there's this trend going on. If you take a look at it, hashtag
30-day rant
30 days rant challenge. And Nigerians are starting to bear their mind following what the NYC core member had started. They said they're going to do it for 30 days. The entire X is indeed filled with a lot of rants. People are ranting, shouting, and this will amaze. Let's take a look at some of the videos very quickly.
What we called on our leaders. President Tinubu, you are a terrible president. Your tenure is bad. We've never had it this worse in Nigeria. In the history of Nigeria, we never had it this worse. Forget say, I am a Yoruba man. Omo Yoruba ni me. This will not be saying na Igbo guy they contest, na complain. We are all complaining. We are suffering in this country. All of us are suffering. President Tinubu, you are a terrible president. You are the worst president we've ever had since the First Republic. You are the worst.
I know after this 30 days movement begins, the government will start sending the police, the soldier to go after people that made video about it, to arrest them, to intimidate them, to, you know. But let me tell you something as a police officer and as a soldier. My dad served this country for 25 years. Currently now, he's still sick. He's down with stroke and brain damage. Guess what? The police department donated 10,000 naira to my dad. He's been down for 1 year. This illness has made us sell property, has made us sell land and everything. The government has done nothing about this. We have gone to his office to cry, to beg, but still yet nothing is being done. So before you go after the youth that is looking for a good government, that is looking for things to work, remember, if things work for us, it works for everyone. Because you are a police officer, you will not buy a cup of rice for 100 naira. It's the same 400 and 500 that we are buying that you will buy too. Because you are a thug, you are not going to buy a cup of rice for 100 naira. No, it's the same 200, it's the same 400 and 800 that you will use to buy. So before you start carrying out this exercise, go and look at the widows of the police officer that have died due to the course of duties. Go and look at the widows of the soldiers that died due to the course of their duties. There is no royalty. NHIS is a scam.
Yeah, that video just made me really sad, because what she's highlighted is a reality of a number of Nigerians. And when the NSAS protest, for example, kicked off in 2020, and it did seem like there was a bit of a face-off between the Nigerian police and young people, this was what young people were saying to them, that, look, we're not just fighting for ourselves, we're fighting for you. We're fighting for you to get better pay, to have better living conditions, to ensure that you have pension, life insurance, so that if anything happens to you, your family is adequately taken care of. And in other countries, we see the way that the members of the armed forces are treated with respect. Like young children children look up to them and think, I want to be a police officer when I grow up. I want to be in the army. I want to serve my country, because there's a lot of pride. And you know that if anything happens to you, your country has your back.
Has your back.
It's just really sad.
It's very sad, especially for service personnel, people that have given their life's work to serve the country, just to be treated like this in retirement. I did talk about it a few weeks ago during Wake Up Nigeria conversation. Which way Nigeria? I talked about the pensioners. It's really heartbreaking, and everything she said there is the truth. How do you donate 10,000 naira to somebody that, donated? And I even saw on social media, somebody said we should do GoFundMe for our soldiers. That's the height of it. A country that can't look after the people that have served with their lives and have fallen in the line of duty.